thought I'd just come back on live quickly because the biggest thunder lightning strike thing, boom, kaboom. I can't describe stuff, so holy shit if it happens again. Let's just see. I'm just going to wait like a few minutes and see if I can capture like the shit that's going on in my backyard. The lightning, like this is the only window in my house that I don't have a curtain for. And it's scary. So I just want to see if this might be the moment where everything just blacks out. I hate being alone during storms. That's my biggest issue right now. Okay, I don't know what's going on. How do you see, like, can someone like message me on Twitter or like on Twitter, like, yeah, UHOH, Jane, OH. Oh my God, it's so scary. I hate, like, maybe I hate thunder now. I'll try and like get this so it doesn't so I can move over and just see what happens in my backyard, even though there's a fence there. When I went offline before, the whole house lit up like a UFO was just going to strobe me up to the heavens. This shit is scary. I'm not used to this weather at this time of year. And because a lot of trees have been coming down, I'm really worried about my car out the front because there's this tree, like one of those big pine ones. And I've asked like the guy that does the gardening to chop it off, but he's like, oh, I got to go and ask, this person and this person. And now it's 2 years later and it's so tall that it started to go like that. And I'm like, that tree is just the story of my life. Like, I just was on the straight and narrow and then now I'm like this. See that? I don't mind lightning. Maybe I did say that I didn't mind lightning and I like thunder, but now, I mean, if this is the thunder that we're talking about, the thunder where all my windows were shaking. Here comes another rumble. I remember when I was a child, like when I was a kid, and our parents used to say, or the kids at school used to say, I can't remember, but there was that story, thunder is God falling off his chair and lightning is God's lost his flashlight. Flashlight, not flashlight. Let's just clear that up. Oh my God, now it's raining. I kind of want to open the windows, but it's really hot still. Let me just have a look at what temperature it is outside, because it's been about, even though it's been stormy, it's been about 32 degrees. Yeah, it's still 28 degrees outside. And it's 8:30 p.m. on Oh my God, it's the 27th. I cannot believe it's been a whole year. Yeah, but I don't think Tink would have done very well in, the summer that we've had, because it was so hot. For about 2 months, it was over 40 degrees. Half the country was on fire. There was a few fires around my area, but, it was not as bad. And that's why it was so bad over East, because for years over East has just been in a drought, a massive drought, where even farmers have had to, kill their livestock humanely because they didn't have anything to feed them and stuff. And my family live over in Queensland, in like a country town, Toowoomba, but even more country, this little town called Crow's Nest. And I love going there because it's such a little tiny little town. And it's where my mum grew up. And it's named after this Aboriginal, something Crow, Jimmy Crow. I don't know, I can't think. But there's this tree in the middle of town, and it's hollowed out, and the sign on it is, this was like Jimmy Crow's. I feel like it's not Jimmy Crow. Wow. I feel like Jimmy Crow might have been like an activist or something, and I'm getting the name wrong. I probably am. I'll look it up. But anyway, the guy that named this town Crow's Nest, that little hollowed out tree was like his house, and you can stand in there, and it really does smell like a lot of people have stood in there. But growing up, it was so awesome. I used to go there for the Christmas holidays for like 6 weeks, just go hang out with my grandparents. Ooh, it's rumbling. And one of my friends there that lived there, their family, well, her mum and her 2 brothers and her lived in this old nunnery. Yeah, so they had this huge house, and oh my God, it was the best fucking house. It was huge, and all the windows, like there was no fly screens, and it was just a really old, awesome house. And I always wanted to live in Crow's Nest just because the houses were so cool. One of my mum's friends that she actually went to school with in Crow's Nest, her mum still lives there. And so whenever we go over there, we always make sure to pop by and see her mum. And I want her house. I have said to my mum that, like, the brutal truth, like, if your friend's mum passes away, can you just let them know that Jane would like everything in that house? Or can you buy that house off them? Or can I lease it out? Because this house, the kitchen is basically like a 1950s diner, which is, I'm really into, all that 1950s classic rockabilly pin-up stuff. I should have been born in the 40s, so I could have enjoyed the 50s or the 70s. They're like my 2 favorite years. But basically, like Mad Men, like everything in that era is my Mad Men, the TV show. I love like Cadillacs. I love the clothes, the like furniture, everything. And what was my point? Oh yeah, so her kitchen was, a 1950s sort of diner, but then it just, you know, those back cupboards, the board, what are they called? The cabinets, and they go like along the middle, and then they have like up top. Everything's awesome. But the thing I love the most is every room has different wallpaper and different carpet. And the carpet is that shaggy 70s carpet, and nothing matches, and everything is just so collective in that house, and I love it. Often my family wait in the car while me and Rose, I'll call her Rose, that's not her real name, just do, you know, tour of the house, because I could hang out all day and just listen to her stories. And yeah, I love listening to old people's stories. One of my exes, like his grandma lived with them, and she was really old, and she just used to yabber on, and no one used to ever listen to her. And even though she used to call me Jenna, even though like my name's Jane, she used to call me Jenna, and I was like okay with that, because you know I really like Jenna Jameson. But even though I dated this guy for 5 years, she still called me Jenna. And I used to listen to her stories, and some of them, like, I still remember really clearly. And even though a lot of people think that she just talked absolute shit or just yabbered on like a crazy person, I actually found a lot of what she said to be true. She actually told me that her family and another family, because backstory, like the family was Greek, and she was around in Greece during, I don't know, the Black Plague, and also like some war or something where the children were taken away from the parents and put in like refugee camps. I don't know, because I'm not good at history. But what was I saying? It's 8:30, so my brain's probably about to turn off. Oh yeah, so she's Greek. Oh yeah, and she grew up in Greece, and her family were one of the only families on her neighbourhood block that survived the Black Plague, because her mum insisted that everyone have a spoonful of cod liver oil every single day. Do you know what? I've been taking cod liver oil pretty much since like that relationship ended, and yeah, I haven't caught coronavirus yet. Although $89 for like flights to Bali from my house, I was so tempted, like nearly clicked, yes, let's pay. But then my friend sat me down and just said, look, if anyone's going to catch this virus, it's you. So just stay in your house, hermit girl. Don't get adventurous, which fucking sucks, because I really want to go to Bali. It's where I can refresh and restore my soul. It's just a beautiful place. It's only 3 hours on a plane from where I live, which is amazing, because 6 hours on a plane is my limit, which is why I always get to Singapore and then fuck around and then get on another connecting flight if I'm going to, I don't know, Thailand or something, which I've only ever been to Thailand and Bali. I haven't even been to Rottnest, which is a little island just off Perth. I've stood on the jetty, but it looks like I've got a missing tooth. Look. How crazy. How crazy I look. How crazy I look if I had a missing tooth. Anyway, I should get off, but I just came on here to talk about the storm, and I've just dribbled on for how long? Oh, I'm going to have a vape. I guess I just wanted some company. It's because of the date, which is, it's 360. It's basically my baby's anniversary of like me having to put her down. I cannot believe that it's been 365 days since I held her. Like, I cannot believe time passes. It's crazy when you go through something that's so soul-shattering and then you realize that, like, time just continues to move forward and everyone is, like, continue to live and you haven't got over it. The shock didn't wear off of all this happening until about August, September last year, which was, fucking 8 months. 8 months, my brain was missing in action. And that's when I got up and did stand up, lost it all, had nothing else to lose, and Mouthhole took over. And that was my first podcast, which I've actually handed in. Like, Mouthhole was my first podcast. It was just my audio diaries about being a hermit and entering into the local comedy scene, which is so weird. And I had to go by myself because my friends, have kids and all the comedy stuff is during the week. So probably not the best start to stand up because I was brainless. But I just keep thinking at least the hard part's over now. I've already got on stage and apparently I've already fucked up many times. So what else can go wrong now that my brain's back? It can only get better, right? And yeah, comedy was just a huge, huge distraction from grieving the loss of my dog. And even just saying my dog, because she wasn't a dog to me. She was my child. She didn't even know that she was a dog until, like, I held her up to the mirror, like, one night. And she was just like, when the fuck are you going to tell me that I'm a dog? She had no idea for, like, 8 years of her life that she was a dog until I showed her. Oh, poor thing. And, yeah, like, me and her name was Tinkerbell. Her name was actually, like, Tinkerbell, but I spelled it wrong. I spelled it with, instead of ER after Tink, like, I put an A in there because, I was going through my gangster stage. And she absolutely hated that name because, we used to communicate through telepathy and, like, tuning into right frequencies. And I'm not going to go into this all that because it's going to prove how fucking nuts and crazy I really am, and I don't want to end up in Greylands, which is, the mental institution here, where a lot of my family have been put in. So I'm just not going to expose all my craziness right now. Let's do little bits at little time, But she hated the name Tinkerbell because she was not. I had little clothes and dresses and stuff for her, and she was not a girly girl at all. She basically would wear clothes, but only for 10 minutes, and then I got to take it off. Like, she'd be like, yeah, I'll let you have your little fun in your moment, but then you got to take that off me, okay? Because that's not me. She was quite butch. And she was really mad that I named her Tinkerbell. Like, she just used to say, why'd you name me after a fairy? And Tinkerbell actually means little girl, or tiny girl, which is basically what Tink was. She was a little pug. But yeah, and then my neighbours next door got a Labrador and they called him John, and he's amazing. But yeah, so she was like, give me a human name. Like, give me fucking some golden retriever respect. So I added Anna to her name. And then it just became really ridiculous at the vet. Tinkerbell, Anna, and then my last name. And she'd be like, Yes, that's my name, you know. And her theme song was actually, you know, the RuPaul song that they do at the end where RuPaul walks down, that cover girl, put that beat in your walk, or that put that bass in your walk. Yeah, instead of saying cover girl, I used to go, Tinkerbell, put that bass in your walk, head to toe, let your whole body talk. Yeah, and because when she used to walk, she fully used to swing her hips. She owned it. I mean, I learned so much from her. She gave me confidence to be happy with myself, love myself. She gave me she basically set the bar for the level of, you know, love that I let into my life and the type of people that I let into my life as well. Like, she basically gave me the perspective that wouldn't you rather just hang out with, you know, my dog? I'd rather just hang out with my dog than hang out with people. And maybe over the decade that we were together 24/7, it got a little bit fucking crazy. Because at first she was my therapy dog because I had like agoraphobia for 3 years. It's a big, long journey from when I was about 23. And then when I was about 20, between 23 and 25, kind of had like midlife crisis, dated the wrong guy who just, you know, broke me down to nothing. And I basically had to rebuild my life. And then now look where I am. Yeah, it's my psychologist and my pharmacist and my GP all want to come and watch me do stand up because they cannot believe this fucking shit. I'm like, I can't believe it either. It's definitely this new Jane, the new Jane O. She's got like that I don't give a fuck attitude, which, I mean, I always cared what other people thought. Always. And I think that's because I care too much. I'm a lover. I'm an empath, you know? But yeah, when I'm Jana, it's like she just says anything, does whatever she wants, regardless of the consequences. And that's how I think comedy should be. I've had a few comedians where I've said something and they've taken me seriously. Like, when the fuck did comedians start taking other people so fucking seriously? You do comedy. Nothing is fucking serious, ever. So don't ever take me serious in my comedy. I mean, I'm doing it for reaction, and that's probably the brutal fucking truth, you know? And yeah, and just explaining my uncleness, my hermit life, my, you know, my spirit animal, which is a snail, because it takes me forever. I'm so fucking slow in life. My pace, you know, I'm not where the usual 37-year-old woman would be. I still feel like I'm 28. But yeah, maybe I should get. So I just need someone to maybe in the comments below if you can help me out because I'm all new to all this, and I might as well just say it. I need help to figure out YouTube, like what lighting, like microphones. I don't know, and also when I'm live, like on my laptop, like this, how can I even see the chat? Not that there's anyone watching. But if there were to be maybe 2 or 3 more people that wanted to have a chat with me, how would I see them? Is it on the side, or, I mean, is it meant to be blank? It's okay. So I'm going to go because it sounds like the storm might be past, and I think I can take it from here.
But thanks for letting me dribble on. I swear that one person watching is me. Okay, so Jano's out, guys. Good night and good loving.